Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Welcome to another fabulous episode, an exciting episode, a jaw-dropping, edge-of-your-seat episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. On Monday, June 10th, 2013, at approximately 7:38 or so in the Alice Tully Hall in Lincoln Center in New York City, New York, United States of America. I, Scotty V, along with Jeffrey Taylor, Steve Eunice, and Carolyn Eunice at Hatsi. I don't like to pronounce her name, but she's a beautiful woman, and she's married to a guy with a name that I have difficulty pronouncing. But that's all right. She was there. Rennie Cowan was there. She's of the Superboy podcast. Jeffrey Taylor writes for Movies.com and Fandango, and of course Steve Eunice, our very own website runner and all-around awesome, great guy. We're all at the premiere. We also were with Neil Cole of the Metropolis website, I guess. Super Friends of Metropolis website, type of thing. He was there. Lots of people were there. Kevin Costner was there. Russell Crowe was there. Lawrence Fishburne was there. Henry Cavill was there. Amy Adams was there. Christopher Maloney was there. Darren Sprayberry was there. Lots of stars, lots of fans, lots of fun. It was a fantastic turnout. It was a great time. We saw an incredible film. This is a spoiler-free review. That's right, everyone. At the Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts in New York City, around 66th Street, we had a great time starting around 7:30 and ending around 10:30. It was a red carpet event where all the stars walked up and down. I was not able to get close. None of us were able to get close. It was packed with press, and we were able to see a few glimpses of the stars of the film as they walked in. And then we saw some of them sitting down as we all took our seats for the movie to begin now. As a spoiler-free review, as this is early and many of you will not yet have seen the film, I will stay away from any plot details or anything that spoils anything that you're going to experience in the theaters this weekend and in the coming weekends over the summer over and over again as you see it. I posted on the Superman homepage late last night through a Twitter, it was last night as I filmed this, but late on the 11th, after the after party, after we saw Man of Steel, that this might possibly be the greatest film I've ever seen. Actually, I think it might have been posted right after the film, right around 10:30 or so. Now, while I may be a bit biased because Superman is the thing that I live for most, and I've been waiting for this film, this type of film, this scope of film, this seriousness of film all my life, I don't think that that's too far out of line for me to say. Many fans are concerned about the mythology. There are some tweaks. There are some changes. I myself have read 10 or 20 different origins to the Man of Steel, and each one of them is slightly different than the next. Not everything always stays exactly the same, but in the context of story here, any of the changes, any of the things that you might find a little bit different make sense. They work in story, they work in drama, they work in the film. Some people were curious about the casting, were curious about Amy Adams as Lois Lane. Amy Adams does a fantastic job portraying I hate to use the cliche, tough as nails reporter. You know, she's snarky. She has some very interesting choice of dialogue in some instances. She's very sharp-witted, and she's also sharp of tongue when she needs to be. She's also very action-oriented and strong of character. Those who are concerned about Lois Lane being portrayed as simply a damsel in distress, fear no longer. Lawrence Fishburne, this has been a big issue with some people. When he came on screen, I did not at any point say, hey, there's a black guy playing Perry White, or hey, it's Lawrence Fishburne. This man was Perry White. And the greatest thing about this was that you know, anytime you see the hero's boss in a film, generally you expect he's not going to have a giant role. And a lot of people have said it doesn't matter who plays Perry White; he's a peripheral character. Nobody cares, nobody minds. I couldn't disagree more. You know, I love Lois and Clark for a number of reasons. It's not serious. It's very campy at times. It's very cheesy. But the characters, the cast, the people who were cast were spot on. And Lane Smith as Perry White, with a heart of gold but tough as nails, again to use the cliche. Eventually, you could tell that he was like a father figure to these reporters and to Lois and to Clark. Lawrence Fishburne in this film has a small role, as you would expect, because there's so much action going on, but he has a pivotal role. He has an important role. He is used in such a great way, and he is the Perryest Perry White that I have ever seen on the big screen yet, and the way they use him is very adequate and it's over adequate. It's spectacular, and Lawrence Fishburne is fantastic as many, and I myself expected that he would be. The earring didn't throw me off at all, even though I was saying that I wouldn't expect Perry White to wear an earring, but he does. Henry Cavill, of course, as we have seen in all of the promos, is spectacular. Many people have expressed concern after Superman Returns as to how they would write Superman, and if he would have some dialogue, if he would have some acting, if he would have something that we could experience with him. And this couldn't be any further from what was given in Superman Returns than possible. People have said, you know, Brandon Routh was fantastic. He looked good, you know, but he didn't have much to work with. He didn't have much dialogue. There wasn't much acting. It's true. He was very quiet and kind of passive and stoic in the film. Henry Cavill in this film, as written by David Goyer, couldn't be further from that. He is very active. He has very like a great deal of dialogue. He has an amazing amount of scenes with acting and with emotion and with just fantastic facial expressions, emotion. He just carries it all with such a great sense of presence on screen, and also when needed humility, but also when needed authority, and just being very inspiring and just very fantastic in the role. Russell Crowe as Jor-El, fantastic, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but what we see here is things we haven't seen before, and Jonathan Kent, if anyone was going to possibly be nominated for an award in this film, I can easily see Kevin Costner as Jonathan Kent winning a supporting actor award, or at least being nominated for one. He was fantastic, touching, emotional. From every standpoint, he was Jonathan Kent, and he was perfectly cast. Christopher Maloney was very good in this film. I was surprised by the importance of his character and the depth of his character and how much I liked his character. It was I didn't know what to expect going in. I had heard things. He hates Superman, this kind of thing, but whatever it is, whatever he does is great in the film, and I love it. I love every scene that he's in. Fantastic. Michael Shannon as Zod. We haven't seen a more serious, a more dangerous, a more driven Zod anywhere ever, and at times I could empathize with him, and I do not see him at all as a mustache twirling villain who is bad just to be bad. There's so much depth to his character, and you understand his plight, and you understand what is going on in the film. Andre Trower, who plays Feora, fantastic. I mean, I saw that scene from Jimmy Kimmel or Jay Leno or whatever it was, where Christopher Maloney is in a little battle with her, and I was jumping out of my seat when I saw it. When I see it in the film, I feel even greater. She has such a presence on screen. She's intimidating, and when you see her in person, which I did, she's kind of small, and she was wearing a beautiful gown for the dress for the event, and it's hard to imagine that this actress on screen is so just bigger, larger than life. She's beautiful, and the role was great, and I love Feora in this film. It was a fantastic portrayal of Zod's, I guess, second in command. Kal-El's parents, I gave you Jor-El. Lara, beautiful, touching portrayal of a mother who's has to give up her child, but for the greater good of the child, and knowing that it has to be done. Just fantastic film. The action in this film, very important to people. People talk about Superman hasn't punched anyone or fought with anyone. In this film, you will see fighting, you will see punching, you will see aerial acrobatics and flight that have never been seen on screen. Obviously, I knew at times I was looking at CGI, but I couldn't tell it was seamless. I couldn't tell when it went from the actual actors on set and when it went to CGI. You know, the problem with Superman a lot of times is that his face is always seen, so you can't just cover him up with an Iron Man mask and do a CGI the whole time and have nobody notice. In this film, Superman flew, Superman used his powers, Superman fought in the air, fought through buildings, fought in many different areas, and at no point did I ever say that looks fake. I was completely immersed and completely awe-inspired. My jaw was on the floor so many times by what they accomplished in this film with the action sequences. There has never been Superman powers and action like this in any film, in any incarnation, television otherwise. And it's awe-inspiring. I think we knew by the previews and by the trailers that this would be beautiful to look at, and it really is. And the action that goes on. But what's most important is the story and the characters. And it was a fantastic story and fantastic characters. It had so much depth, and it was so great. I have no doubt that this will be many of your favorite Superman movie, if not favorite superhero movie, if not favorite movie of all time ever to be made. Thanks for watching, everybody, and remember, always look up in the sky.